I'm Flight Sergeant McLaughlin, and this is M290.03, construct a simple snare. Cut.
Give it a bit. It's done.
Okay. One of the most important aspects of building a successful simple snare is site selection. So you want to find somewhere that it's evident that small animals and game have been frequenting. You want to look for feces and tracks. As you can see right here, this animal isn't so small. It's not exactly what you'll be catching in your snares, but as you can see, he left pretty prominent prints in the mud right there and right there. So something similar to that. Well, if your terrain permits it, if you can find some place that has a lot of shrubbery or is near a water source, or if you're going into the trees for squirrels, look for a nice live, healthy tree that seems to have some kind of food source there for them. If you can find something like this, anywhere that it seems that there might be a little place for animals to have a home, if you build something near the entrance of that, like build a snare near the entrance of that, there are chances that you could catch something. This is a perfect example of a downward trail as well as an entrance to a possible animal home that leads into a downhill stream. So are you filming? Okay, here's another good example. There is a tree. It is a downhill trail, as you can see. Look, it leads all the way down here to a water source, a fairly large one that is not stagnant. It is actually running very well during spring here. During the summer, it'll be even more perfect to harbor small game because it does have a bunch of live trees here that will be growing food. Going downwards. Oh, there he is. Wire and twine, as well as other improvised materials like tree roots. But if you're fortunate enough to have the material, you can use wire. Just thin wire that you're able to manipulate with your hand. You take the wire or the twine. You want to make the loop about as big as your fist. Not too big, but not too small either, because you want a small animal's head to be able to fit through that. You make sure that the long end is nice and straight, and you twist the wire, not too tight because you want it to be able to move freely still, but tight enough that it doesn't undo itself. Okay, you want it to be able to move freely up and down the long end of your snare. Alright, and then, like we mentioned before with site selection, you want to set it up somewhere that has a trail that shows evidence of animal traffic, preferably towards a food source or a water source. I'll set this up. Thankfully I have enough wire to set it up from a tree. I can set this up close to the ground. And if you can get a branch, I'm getting a little spicy. If you can get a branch to hold it out better. Oh. There you go, water source. Hey buddy, if I have it out with a branch here, a rabbit will be able to run right through it. Alternatively, you can use some twine. So you get the preferred length. I'll use about this much. Cameraman, would you do the honors? Nice, okay. Perfect. So you don't want to waste it, put it back in your pocket, keep it for later. Because if you've been to a bush weekend, especially spring bush, you know that you can never have too much twine. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to create a slip knot with the end of your string here. So basically all you're doing is you're tying a knot around your second string. You're not really involving the second string in the knot. It's just kind of there and able to slip easily up and down. As you can see, if you back up just a little bit, you can see that it'll easily open and close like that. Can you see?
You're gonna get stuck.
Just like the wire snare, you want to make sure that initially the loop is about as wide as your fist. Okay, that's about as big as my hand, because we're still going for small animals like rabbits. So here, because of the down branch, I can pretty much just tie it. Because it is a twine snare, it won't exactly stay open on its own. So you want to use another branch or two that'll leave it open. Like another area that would be a good idea to set up a simple wire or twine snare. What? Are trees, healthy trees that are a food source, so you kind of cut out the middleman of the trail. This is more for squirrels, alright? So, you come over here. Since this snare is more aimed towards squirrels, you can make the loop a little bit smaller. Still want to keep it wide enough for even the big, Ottawa squirrels to fit in. But there you go. And then you just find spots in tree branches and on the tree trunk. If you have enough wire, you can make a bunch of them, put them in a spiral motion all around the branch or the tree that you're aiming for, because that's how squirrels run. They run in spiral motions up and down a tree. Alright, thank you for watching. This was M290.03. I'm still Flight Sergeant McLaughlin, and hopefully you enjoyed the lesson.